Hey there, Silver-Tongued Devil here, and today is a very exciting day. Today we are going to be having a look at all the new things and the stuff that you can expect to see in the latest update of Dungeons of Eternity. Now, first things first, what's changed about this? Well, for those of you who are veterans, you'll see that we already have the ability to go up slightly higher than level 60. That's because a prestige system has been introduced into the dungeon, so now we can keep those bars going up and up ad infinitum, but there are nice juicy rewards for doing so. So ultimately we now have our endgame content, or at least some steps towards it. We also have what I mistook for being player 5's bedroom, because we didn't have the comms array up there originally, I don't think, but the comms array is going to be all to do with said prestige system. It's reasonably extensive, as you can probably tell, with the fact that they've dedicated an entire room to it. But first and foremost, let's have a little trip down here. Now, you'll see that we now have Venders, the marketplace, if you will, and we also have an armourer and a merchant. As far as our merchant is concerned, this is where we're going to be able to buy gems for you wizards. At last, you can buy gems before you go in. We are also able to buy cosmetics from here as well. So this is one of the things that has been asked for by myself and numerous others. What the hell are we supposed to do with all of this gold? Well, now we've got lots of things to do with all of this gold. We'll buy one of these, because there is indeed a fully strokeable wolf down here who Nova doesn't seem to be giving me any love or attention. Maybe a wolf treat would do the trick. Yes, I thought it might. Simple beasts, and then to feed. So, a little character added to here is Nova, who has the fully strokeable thing. Doesn't sound particularly happy with being manhandled, but yeah, you don't mind, do you? So, we have Nova. She is unable to accompany us into the dungeon from what I can gather. However, once she has been fed a treat, she'll come out for you to do as you please. Him, her, I don't know. I think it's a Nova, her. Who knows? And also, if we hold the treat out, Nova will come around after it, won't you? There you go, girl. Off you go. Off you go, stupid mutt. Right. The other thing that we have to look at is the armourer. Don't think either of these characters actually have names at the moment, so merchant, armourer, there you go. The armourer gives us the ability to actually buy specific things, like with the merchant, who, as well as doing the gems and the wolf treats, also does cosmetics as well. You'll see that all of these items update on a timer, so these lists will change periodically. You'll see here that we've got all the way up to legendary, with them costing an eye-watering 14, 15 odd thousand for a lot of these top level legendary items. But everything from common all the way up to legendary exists, so depending on your level and where you're at with the game, you can buy what you want. This gives me quite an interesting idea as to another way to play the game, in that you could come here and specifically buy a weapon to complete a dungeon with. Another way to play. We like that. We like that. A non-descriptive dwarf. The only other thing of note past here is that we now have a little path to explore down here, and a portal that then takes us, if you don't know what this is where the credits area specifically was. So, boo-hoo, they've taken away the place where we can view the credits. Or have they? I'll show you where that is later on. And then that, of course, leads into the training area, and then back up here, and we're back to where we started. So next thing we'll go and have a look at is we will go and have a look at the comms array. Now, as I said, the comms array is related to the prestige system. Pop all the way to the top of this tower, because, you know, you got to have some height to set up those big old dishes, don't you? And you will see that I've got the ability to promotion cheat at the moment so that I can show off some of the things associated with prestiging. Once you have done your 60 levels, so at level 60, you are then able to promote your character another 60 levels on top of that, and you'll be able to do it again. Promotion rewards on the first promotion tier, which I've already done, is a really cool set of armor. And not only is it cool, but you can actually see the arm model for said set of armor as well. This does cost us another eye-watering amount of money, 50,000. That reserve is going to whittle down real quick at this rate. And then the coolest thing about the promotional rewards are these mythic weapons. So if we promote here, I've skipped past the bit of dialogue that old QB here gives us, and we're on to the guts of it. So during your promotional event, after the first one where you get armor and a mythic weapon, each promotion then will continue to give you mythic weapons. As far as mythic weapons are concerned, we have everything, I believe, other than the magic staff. Think that sounds about right. Now we're actually going to look at a shield because I've already done one promotion. So we're going, and I've already got a bow. What I will show off, though, with the bow is it isn't just you get a mythic weapon, it's also you get to pick 2 of its perks. So if you want a mythic bow with elite damage and slowing arrows, as well as anything else, that's what you could go for. So I like this. This means that, you know, you got to know what you're doing as far as your mythic weapon picks are concerned, but your mythic weapon may be different to somebody else's. We all like that little bit of uniqueness, don't we? I already have a mythic bow, as you can see here, and I've equipped that with 2 simple ones, attack power and shot distance, because I want to do more damage, and I like the arrow profile of shot distance, and it saves me having to waste a perk on it. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at picking up a shield, because I've been told of the additional abilities of the shield, because like the bow, it has an additional ability as well. I've been told that the shield one has one, and I haven't had a look yet. Now, what would I pick as far as shield is concerned? Well, knockback distance is always a firm favourite. Don't think we need attack power. I think it's got to be knockback distance and absorb, just in case we get in trouble. And yeah, I think the fan favourite of the knockback distance and absorb, most likely. Don't really need absorb, but I'd argue that we don't need a lot of the other ones there as well. Let us confirm our mythic shield. Store that in the armory.
When you have leveled up.
And then, as said, we can keep on coming back here every time we get another 60 levels, pay the cost, promote, and then we would get to pick another mythic weapon. You can pick multiple of the same kind if you want a plethora of, say, mythic crossbows with different abilities, or you can spread the love as far as those things are concerned. Now, through the magic of the edit, I've slipped into something a little bit more comfortable. This is the Nova Guild armor set in all its splendid refinery. As promised, you get the arm model with this one, so this comes to you after your first prestige. For the more observant amongst you, you may be wondering there's a little something wrong with this model. Why does he have a shield and a bow at the same time? That's right, they've added the new Exo Perk called Juggernaut. It replaces the perk on your leg and simply allows us to have 2 backslot weapons. One of them can be whatever you want. The other one has to be a shield. So I've got my 2 mythic weapons. Let's go and have a look at how they perform. So it replaces your leg Exo Perk. At top level, you do get a little bit of a speed boost. So now at least there is a choice to be made. Do you want to be heavy and encumbered with those 2 back weapons, or do you want to be fast and nimble with just the one? Choice and viable builds are definitely things we need, because we're all guilty of using all the same Exo Perks all the time. There's another feature that may change things, but first, let's have a quick look. So all of the mythic weapons come with a charge attack. So you'll see my mythic bow here. Standard arrow, fiery affair, you stay. And we are now able to, in the hand that is holding said mythic weapon, hold trigger. Allows us to power up. With the bow, you simply get an explosive arrow, which explodes on contact with objects and actually drills into enemies and then releases a timed explosion with them. And then to give you a little look at what to expect on the shield, we could go into combat with this guy, but why do that when we could just throw the shield at him? Oh, well, that was to be expected. Why do that when we can just throw the shield at him? And then as far as the powered up version is concerned, you will then get more auto-targeting and a quicker return with your shield as well. Lovely little addition for all you Captain America fans. Perfect. So the next thing for us to have a look at would be what changes as far as the dungeons are concerned. There are 30 or so dungeon tiles or dungeon rooms across the various realms. And then, as you can see here, there are now hazards within the dungeons. These are, for those of you who've played other games, mutators, modifiers, or what have you. If we bring this one up, I'll just pop it on easiest so I don't embarrass myself. You can see that this is a hazard level 3 dungeon. We will get a 25 bonus to our experience, but this dungeon will be axes only. We will get plus 40% bonus to our experience, but there will be swarms of enemies, so goo, spiders and bats will be more regular occurring and in greater numbers, and then 40% bonus to our experience, but we will not be able to use potions. This hazard thing I'm really looking forward to, because it's just random stuff that comes up and then offers an additional layer and level of challenge on what we already have, and then starts throwing in that random factor as well. For instance, right here we have swords and shields only. Bear in mind, you can't equip what you have to take these challenges on. Everybody will be given the weapons, and in some circumstances you can be offered random starting weapons, but of course if I wanted to show that off, it's not going to generate that. Do note that at current, and I don't know if this is going to change, if you save a dungeon over yonder, it doesn't save with the modifiers on it, so these are kind of one and done experiences, which, truth be told, I kind of like, because then You remember that time that we went into that dungeon and we couldn't use potions and it was that nasty dungeon and we could only use sword and shields and there was no reviving and swarms of enemies? But the kind of stories that you'll get. One and dones, which is always nice. And they're reasonably regularly updated and added. Let's give myself a reasonably easy time of it. We found one that's hazard level 1. This one just has bonus enemy swarms. I'm hoping that there's going to be some kind of key or table in the game so we know all the hazards are in there and the various levels of. I've popped it in easy. I've got my overpowered weapons. Let's go and have a look, shall we? So I suppose one of the biggest pieces of news that we have as far as Dungeons of Eternity is concerned is PCVR Brethren, rejoice! You now get to play the game with even better graphics. Same old gameplay, much better graphics. And you're welcome, PCVR. Us questies have been heavily testing this one for you, making sure that it's a nice, clean and smooth, bug-free experience. You're welcome. Makes a change, doesn't it? So we're up against increased numbers of swarms. I'm going to hopefully try and not get my ass handed to me in this level 1 dungeon. I'm definitely looking forward to doing some videos of these dungeons that are going to have the hazards within them and attempting them at, well, a little bit higher difficulty than level 1, I think. Let's give this guy some of the good news. We get this powered up bow shooting with the Mythic bow power up. I have to time it. Looks like it's approximately 10 seconds from what I've seen. Well, we could just give it a quick test, couldn't we? And on 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000, 8 1000. Yeah, I might have been counting a little slow, maybe between 8 and 10 seconds, something along those lines. So I'm not going to do a massive amount of exploring, we're just going to get through this one so you've got an idea. But already you can see that we've got more and more of the swarm type enemies. So there'll be bugs in this one, spiders in the other, slimes in a different one. Probably be rude not to use our shield a little bit. The abilities on here, the abilities on here recharge periodically. So after activation, we'll have our use, and then it'll power down, and then I think it's somewhere between about 30 seconds and a minute before you can use it again. If you've already used it and you try to press trigger to activate, you hear that kind of failing noise. Yeah, I'd say that was about 20-30 seconds, maybe different on different mythic weapons. So we can now quite easily go through. I mean, it's only level 1 difficult, but we quite easily go through with just this. As I mentioned previously, haven't seen any yet, but there has been new dungeon tiles added to the already huge roster, and I would imagine some have been updated as well. This is not the way. The other thing to note as well, and this is something that, well, save me embarrassing myself and leave you guys something to discover for yourselves, is that the higher level of difficulties now increase the movement sets of the various bosses within the game. I've tangled with a few of them. Some of them are just nasty with what they can do at higher levels. I believe they start kicking in from about level 4 and onwards as far as your difficulty tier is concerned. So that's another thing for you guys and gals to play around with. What we'll see about doing is getting this dungeon done nice and quick. I'm kind of hoping that we will see something new whilst we're down here. Same old rooms for now. And this one looks obviously very familiar as well. So yeah, just as I suppose a little recap of everything that we have so far. So we've got the Mythic Weapons added. We have got the Nova Guild Armour set added, and those are available to you when you prestige. Getting up to level 60 will allow you to prestige, and then every 60 levels on top of that will allow you to prestige again, getting a new mythic weapon each and every time. We've got the dungeon hazards added. 2 dungeons. We have got the new movement set from various bosses at higher levels, so that'll just make bosses a little bit nastier and a little bit tougher. Still using some of these explosions on the old mythic arrows. Very powerful. Very big radius. So this kind of has, like, I suppose, fire plus... God. Level 1 dungeons, ladies and gents, with 1 modifier. Getting my ass handed to me, but let's face it, who likes those guys? Who likes them? Guess that's not going to work. We've also got the LIV camera, which I will show off very soon. So LIV is now supported. For those of you who don't know what LIV is, quite a few games have it featured within, and it just gives you, with some it's just something as simple as a selfie camera. With others, you're able to do full changes of perspective as far as your character is concerned. I don't know what the system's going to be, because obviously this is just a alpha-y, beta-y kind of test build. I don't know what the system's going to be. At the moment, it is a case of you go into the menu. It is under other. It's still experimental as well. It'll probably stay experimental when everything's up and running. Press on LIV. That drops us our tablet, which again, if you've used LIV, these are starting to appear more in more and more games. We've got the ability to have a... Wait, that's a selfie. We have a first-person camera, so we can get a little bit of viewer inception going on there. We have a third-person camera, which is not working so great because we haven't got the distance increased. But you can see... Oh. Well, it was rendering full body, but it doesn't seem to be at the moment. So yeah, LIV cameras are a thing that is coming to the game when it gets out of the experimental stages. You can... It is a little...
Get in my belly!
And you can actually store it in there. Again, experimental features, these things are coming. So, Mythics, Prestige, Nova Armour. We've got the additional dungeons. Oh, this is new. This is like a new little ante-room off of an existing stair model. Don't get killed. There we go. Can hear them skittering around. See where this goes. So yeah, I'm sure I've seen this stair model before, but now we've got some nice little rooms off of it. This is good. So I don't know rooms, I don't know the exact spread across which ones have what. Again, doesn't really matter. You're going to come across new rooms. Oh, thanks for the poison, dude. You're going to come across new rooms as you're playing. This one is... Oh, this is one of the newer ones, but this isn't new. I've definitely seen this crescendo room before. So... got the boss movesets, got the additional rooms, got the mythic weapons, got promotion as far as your prestiging is concerned, got the LIV camera side of things. Don't think I've missed anything there. That's just obviously the dungeon side of things, and then the other bits and pieces that we covered as far as the marketplace and such. Can we move this along? Where is everybody? Oh, there he is. Good. Let's get some more of that shield, that hot shield action going, shall we? Yes, great. Oh, I didn't power it up, that's why. Bam. Oh, doesn't work. He's immune. He's only immune. See how you fell with one of those. Not so well. As I've got most of the mythic weapons unlocked, I've got plans to do a video showing all of those off and all of their powered up abilities. So that should be coming soon. What again, doesn't spoil too much, but one of the things that I can tell you that happens with the level 4 and up summoner, we haven't looked at the top level ones yet. Again, some things can be little mysteries for now, but he'll summon different enemies depending on the biome that you've gone into, making the summoner a harder model. The big old scorpions fire additional blasts. Dance, dance, dance. Well, it's nice to see the bar go up at a decent speed, but that will definitely slow down. There you have it. That's pretty much everything covered. Although there was one last thing that we do need to go and have a look at. Because where's that credits area? You know, there's some of us that are lucky enough to actually be in those credits. So we want to be able to go and find it. So you'll see that I've come back to the marketplace. If we come up these stairs and pull this lever, something I did want to quickly touch on as well, all the levers in all the dungeons now have been changed to this model. It looks a lot more solid, it looks a lot more stable. The previous one used to wobble around, something rotten. That one feels good and looks good to pull. Yes, that's right, I'm getting excited about levers. So that opens this portcullis. Make sure you grab your torch, make sure you light it, because we've got a dark stair to investigate. And is there skeletons down here? No. Could this house the dragons that we're after? It does kind of have that feel that there should be something nasty down here, but no, it's just simply the credits. And so there we have it. I think that's pretty much everything covered. Lots of things for us to do now, lots of leveling up to do, lots of dungeons to play with those hazards. We'll keep things nice and fresh for the foreseeable future. We've got our prestiging to do and all of those mythic weapons to collect, all that good stuff downstairs so that we can actually have something to spend our gold on. We've got PCVR joining in on the fun now as well. Other than that, this has been Dungeons of Eternity running natively on the Quest 3. I have been Silver Tongue Devil. Good night.